It's 11 p.m. and you're lying in bed scrolling. You have 400 friends online. You have group chats that never go quiet. And yet something in your chest feels hollow, like a room with the lights on but nobody home. You tell yourself you're fine, you're connected, you're surrounded, but the real answer is far stranger than that. Your brain doesn't measure how many people you know. It measures whether you are safe. And right now, according to a system buried deep in your biology, it has quietly decided that you are not. This isn't sadness. It isn't a mood. It's an alarm, and it's older than fear itself. 200,000 years ago, your ancestors did not survive as individuals. A person alone on the savannah was not free. A person alone was food. No claws, no fangs, no fur thick enough to fight off a cold night. Just a soft, slow, clever animal that only worked as a team. So evolution built something into you that had nothing to do with logic. It built a warning light. When you drifted too far from the group, your body didn't whisper a suggestion. It screamed. That screaming is what you now call loneliness. The psychologist John Cacioppo spent much of his career studying this exact alarm system. He found that loneliness isn't just an emotional state. It shows up in your blood pressure. It shows up in your immune system. It changes how your body regulates stress hormones, almost as if your cells themselves believe danger is close. Cacioppo described loneliness as a biological signal, not a character flaw. Your body isn't malfunctioning when you feel it. Your body is doing exactly what it was built to do. But here's where it gets stranger. Your brain doesn't just flag loneliness as inconvenient, it treats it as an injury. In the early 2000s, the neuroscientist Naomi Eisenberger ran an experiment that changed how scientists understood social pain. Volunteers played a simple ball-tossing game while inside a brain scanner. At first, they were included. Then, without warning, the other players stopped passing them the ball. They were left out. Nothing physical happened to them. No one touched them. But the brain scans told a different story. The same regions that light up when you stub your toe or burn your hand lit up when these people were excluded. Your brain, it turns out, does not have a separate file for social pain. It uses the same wiring as physical pain. Being left out doesn't just feel bad. To your nervous system, it registers as an actual wound. Why would evolution do that? Why would getting ignored in a group chat feel anything like touching a hot stove? Because for most of human history, exclusion from the group was not a small inconvenience. It was a slow death sentence. The anthropologist Robin Dunbar spent decades studying the size of human social groups, both ancient and modern. He found that our brains are wired for a very specific number of close relationships, somewhere around 150 people. Not thousands, not millions. A tight, known circle where everyone recognized your face, remembered your name, and would notice if you disappeared. Inside that circle, you were protected. Outside of it, you were prey. So think about what that means for the alarm system inside you. It wasn't built to measure follower counts. It wasn't built to process hundreds of strangers scrolling past your face on a screen. It was built for a small, warm circle of people who physically stood beside you when the fire went out or the wolves got close. Your brain still believes it lives in that world. That's the twist nobody tells you. You can have 400 online friends and still trigger the same ancient alarm as a person abandoned outside the tribe at nightfall. Because your nervous system isn't counting contacts. It's asking a much older question. Would anyone notice if I vanished tonight? Would anyone come looking? If the honest answer feels uncertain, your body responds as if you are unsafe. Even if, logically, you know you are not. This is where modern life becomes a strange trap. You are more visible than any human in history. Every post, every comment, every notification promises connection. But most of it is thin. It's proximity without belonging. Noise without a fire to sit around. Researchers studying inflammation have found something unsettling here too. Chronic loneliness doesn't just feel uncomfortable. Over time, it keeps your body's threat response switched on low, like a smoke alarm that never fully turns off. Elevated stress hormones, elevated inflammation, a nervous system braced for a danger that, in the modern world, usually never comes. Your ancestors' alarm was accurate. Isolation really did mean death. Your alarm is the same wiring running in a world it was never designed for. So why does scrolling make it worse instead of better? Because your brain isn't fooled by quantity. It's searching for something specific. Not likes, not views. It's searching for what researchers call felt security. The sense that a small number of specific people would show up for you no matter what. A crowd of strangers cannot provide that. Neither can a highlight reel of people who seem happier, more connected, more surrounded than you. Instead, your brain compares. And comparison, to an animal built for a tribe of 150, feels like watching the fire burn down while you stand just outside its light. Here's the part that should change how you see all of this. Loneliness was never a personal failure. It was never proof that something is wrong with you. It is one of the oldest, most sophisticated survival systems your species ever built. It kept isolated humans moving, searching, reconnecting, because reconnecting used to mean staying alive. The feeling itself is not the danger. The danger is what happens when that ancient alarm keeps ringing in a world that no longer answers it the way it used to. A world of screens instead of firelight, of audiences instead of tribes, of visibility mistaken for closeness. Your ancestors solved loneliness the only way it could be solved for 200,000 years. They moved toward another human being, not another feed, not another follower count, a face, a voice, a body sitting close enough to notice if you went quiet. That solution hasn't changed, even if everything around it has. So tonight, when you put the phone down and that hollow feeling is still sitting in your chest, understand what it actually is. It isn't weakness. It isn't a flaw in your personality. It's 200,000 years of biology, still trying to keep you alive, still asking the same question it has always asked. Is someone close enough to notice if I disappear? It's 11 p.m. and you're lying in bed again. But this time, you put the phone down. You call someone instead. Not to check a feed. To hear a voice that would notice if you vanished. And for the first time all night, something in your chest finally goes quiet.